Hello and welcome. Let's take a look at the top story we are tracking for you this hour. The foreign ministers of the SCO are meeting in Goa to discuss regional security matters, including adding Iran and Belarus to the grouping. Amid fractured East-West relations, India, which holds the chair of both the G20 major economies and the SCO this year, is treading a diplomatic tightrope. Now, the Shanghai Cooperation Organisation is an intergovernmental organisation founded in Shanghai on the 15th of June 2001. The theme of India's 2023 chairmanship is Secure SCO. Now, India attaches special importance to the SCO in promoting multilateral, political, security, economic and people-to-people interactions in the region. The SCO pursues its policy based on the principles of sovereignty and territorial integrity of nations and non-interference in internal affairs. Now, Pakistan's foreign minister is attending the SCO meeting. Bilawal Bhutto-Zardari is the first Pakistani foreign minister to visit India since 2011. New Delhi has consistently stressed the need for Pakistan to take credible, irreversible and verifiable action to end the cross-border terrorism against India. India expects Pakistan to fulfill assurances given at the highest level in 2004 and reiterated several times that territory under its control would not be allowed to be used for terrorism. India has urged Pakistan to review its unilateral actions so that normal channels of diplomatic communications are preserved. However, instead of vowing to act against terror, the Pakistani foreign minister said, and I quote, "Let's not get caught up in weaponizing terrorism for diplomatic point scoring." Here's what the Indian foreign minister said at the SCO Meet.
There can be no justification for terrorism, and it must be stopped in all its forms and manifestations, including cross-border terrorism.
Now, Sergei Lavrov's visit is the third high-level visit from Russia in the last 3 weeks. Remember, the Russian Deputy Prime Minister Denis Manturov and the Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu visited New Delhi recently. The Indian Foreign Minister and his Russian counterpart held bilateral talks yesterday. The Russian Foreign Ministry said a trust-based exchange of views took place. India has long-standing ties with Russia and has so far not condemned the Russian invasion of Ukraine. However, last year, Prime Minister Narendra Modi told Vladimir Putin that this is not a time for war. Ties between India and China have seen a steep fall since the 2020 clash in Ladakh's Galwan Valley. Wang Yi, now China's top diplomat, visited New Delhi last year and met Indian counterpart S. Jaishankar. And in March, China's new foreign minister, Qin Gang, attended the G20 meeting in New Delhi. S. Jaishankar held bilateral talks with Qin Gang yesterday. Now, the Indian minister said the focus remains on resolving outstanding issues and ensuring peace and tranquility in the border areas. Since its inception, the SCO has mainly focused on regional security issues and the fight against terrorism, separatism, and extremism. Priorities of the grouping also include regional development. The SCO has been an observer in the UN General Assembly since 2005. In 2010, the UN and the SCO secretariats signed a declaration on cooperation. In April of 2010, the UN and SCO secretariats signed this declaration. Now, for more on this, joining us live from Goa is our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, as well as Anas Malik from Islamabad. Hello and welcome. Thanks to you both for joining us. Now, Siddhant, to you first. India holds the chair of both the G20 major economies and the SCO this year. Now, is India treading a diplomatic tightrope?
Well, I really don't think so that India will be going through this tightrope, because what India sees is an opportunity to showcase itself and also tell to the world that how India can play an important role in terms of forming consensus on global issues, from counter-terrorism to connectivity. This year is a busy year for India. We know several summits are due. One in July, where the Shanghai Cooperation Organization's leaders are expected later on in September, when the G20 summits take place. But essentially, if we look at SCO, this is a grouping that is a grouping dominated by Russia and China, and has increased influence in the global geopolitical order. Now, under the Indian presidency of the grouping, India has been trying to focus on issues like modernization of the grouping. Now, under the Indian presidency, we will see a major expansion of the grouping. The last major expansion was in 2017, when India and Pakistan became members of the grouping. This year, we will see Iran and Belarus becoming full-fledged member in the Delhi summit. But today, what we will see is MOUs being signed with Maldives, Myanmar, Kuwait, and UAE, which will become dialogue partners. There are already 14 dialogue partners of this grouping. So essentially a rise of a new world order led by new groupings like SCO and BRICS, in which India is taking a lead as the chair of the grouping.
Absolutely, Siddhant. Coming to you now, Anas, the Pakistan Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto-Zardari is attending the SCO Meet in person in India this year. The first Pakistan Foreign Minister to visit India since 2011. Take us through the significance of this.
Well, it is quite significant, optically speaking as well. The Pakistani Foreign Minister, Alison, a short while back spoke at the SCO Foreign Ministers meeting where Siddhant is, and he said that it is a reiteration to the commitment that Pakistan has towards the Shanghai Cooperation Organisation, that he's there in Goa in person. That being said, I think there were two highlights of his address, the Pakistani Foreign Minister's address. We'll come to that in a bit, but he called for a formation of a working group on climate change, of the SCO working group on climate change, and he's also renewed the call for the formation of the SCO Center for Poverty Eradication. Remember, the Pakistani Prime Minister in 2019 in Bishkek had laid out this proposal for an SCO working group for poverty alleviation, and it is to be accepted, or it is to be ratified in the New Delhi meeting in July. Now, with that, the two highlights of for Pakistani Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto-Zardari's speech, pardon me on that, were that first, with regards to terrorism, he said that it is a global problem, and let's just not weaponize the word of terrorism in a diplomatic connotation. Not making any apparent jibes, but it might be seen in the context of the reference of cross-border terrorism by his Indian counterpart. That being said, he also gave it a very personal touch. He tried to segregate non-state actors with state actors and said that terrorism must be condemned in all of its manifestations, including state-sponsored terrorism. With that, he's also made a reference to unilateral actions without explicitly mentioning about the bilateral disputes, because remember, the SCO Charter bars countries from raising bilateral issues, and therefore, all in all, a speech from the Pakistani Foreign Minister that focused on climate change, poverty alleviation, the Afghanistan situation, and terrorism as a problem in the whole region. Alison?
Right, Anas, thank you very much, and thank you to you too, Siddhant, for being with us and joining us on all the latest details coming out of the SCO.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.